Good morning. Shri Nagendranath Sinha, Secretary, Ministry of Steel. Shri Abhyuday Jindal, Senior Vice President, Indian Chamber of Commerce. Shri Kapil Dhagat, Head Mining JSPL, and all the dignitaries of the days. The discussion so far on critical minerals remind me one of the famous story of Gautam Buddha. That Gautam Buddha, once upon a time, after completing his discourse, was going to a different village. And on the way, his disciples saw a lot of pits dug on the side of the road. So he asked, Tathagat, why so many pits are dug? And he was amused, so he asked this question. And Gautam Buddha replied that probably he was looking for water. And instead of digging one deep well, he started digging many dips, thinking that the water will come with less effort. Had he been focused on one pit, probably would have got water easily and at lesser time. So the discussion on critical minerals reminded me of that story, because if you look for critical minerals, there are three approaches which are being taken worldwide. One is going for the new mines and the discussion on auction of the new mines which happened. Second, how you can draw as a byproducts. So I operate from Bhubaneswar. I know the discussion which have been for a long time, that how we can get nickel out of the chromite overburden in Sukinda area. And there are many other metals which have the potential to give other co-products. And third, the urban mining concept, how we can collect those appliances which we use normally, and then how we can recycle and derive those critical minerals out of that. So the second aspect, which was to do more and more with the same resource, reminded me from the story of Gautam Buddha. And here I would like to say that the policy measures which are required, that the mines which have been allotted through auction with certain bid premium on a particular mineral, how it will be applicable if someone invests in getting those critical minerals, what will be the royalty on those. So probably those incentivization will help the miners to follow the principle or the story of Gautam Buddha and draw more and more critical minerals for the country. Auction discussion has happened in the past, and it is a continuing discussion, because the concept which was there earlier in this was that how we can reduce the discrimination or the discretion part of allocating the resources. However, it has shifted to revenue maximization. And many times we see that people either participate with rational, without rational. In some minerals, the bid premium is very high, goes up to more than 200%. Iron ore, the average is more than 110%. And the saga continues. So while the auction is going to stay, we all know, but what would be the modalities, how it can be more effective for the time to come, because there are still some players who feel that they got the mines at a very high rate and this is not economically viable for future. So it reminds me of famous couplet of Ahmad Faraz कि यूसुफ न थे मगर सरे बाजार आ गए, खुशफहमियाँ ये भी थी कि खरीदार आ गए, आवाज़ दे के छुप गई हर बार ज़िंदगी, हम ऐसे सादा दिल के हर बार आ गए. So if you see many people participate in the auction and then they realize that what would have been the better bid premium for the mining to run effectively and to contribute for the downstream activities. Critical minerals, we always think that when we go for decarbonization or clean energy or technology minerals, the mining will be limited, but it is not so. Probably we require different ESG framework for critical minerals. The mining as well as the processing. There are different hazards, there are different challenges related to pollutions. And those who have studied on these critical minerals, they are aware that how the Yellow River in China is today. And there are a lot of efforts, discussion going on to reduce the pollution of the Yellow River in China. And in terms of volume also, you are all aware that critical minerals, electric car requires 6 times more mineral than a conventional car. An onshore wind plant requires 9 times more minerals than a gas-fired plant. So critical minerals, the volume will also increase, the number of minerals will increase, and so the mining footprint will be more. So the three approaches what we discussed, probably the second and the third approach on getting more and more from the same resource, and urban mining probably will see more and more traction in the coming days to come. But in the third approach, you need to have more and more skilling, because the guy who is collecting the appliances, he should know what are the minerals in 1990s model of one electrical appliance and what are the minerals in 2024 model, so that he can differentiate and segregate. So it requires more skilling, and it's also towards moving from the just transition aspect. So there are a lot of things which will unfold, and today discussions, the day-long discussion will come out with such unfolding approaches and discussions. With that background and context, I would like to thank Sri Anand Sinha for his thoughts and his views. He emphasized on the importance of critical minerals, the different royalty rates which can also come in iron ore beneficiation. He applauded the work which has been done in NMDC. He also highlighted the growing Indian economy and the future requirement of iron ore. He was mentioning about diversification of risk in terms of sourcing of coking coal, and he also highlighted how we can do further R&D and industry academia connect, how it can be further strengthened. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. Mr. Jindal has been a pillar for ICC. He has been seeing how the ICC programs are run, and I have seen in almost all the programs his presence and his guidance has been very valuable. He also highlighted on critical and strategic mineral importance in terms of India's own growth plan, technology and decarbonization, and the clean energy aspect. He emphasized on institutional framework, and AI in mineral exploration, mining and manufacturing can be further enhanced. Circular economy has been his one of favorite subject, and he highlighted that also in today's program. Thank you very much, Mr. Jindal, for being with us. Mr. Dhagal's favorite topic is coking coal. He has been an expert in coking coal, so I was waiting when he is coming to his subject. So he started with solar and battery storage, and then environment-friendly mining, and then the China dominance on critical minerals. We all know that the mines are in Argentina, Chile, and Australia, but the processing part, which is very important in critical minerals, is still dominated by China. And he also emphasized on the good practices of Australia in exploration and the digital library what they have. With that, I thank Mr. Dhagat also. I thank all the audience who have been very keen, and I didn't see anyone having Gautam Buddha moment going into trance. The eyes were awake, people were awake. So thank you very much for listening to the different speakers. Thanks to ICC for organizing this program. Thanks a lot.